Hey guys, Jason is sitting here doing a vlog, entertainment vlog. Just doing a follow-up story that had went cold for quite some time, but now there is some new developments in regarding the Tom Cruise, Katie Holmes divorce situation. He finally admitted to something that I think a lot of people already had guessed what it was, but this is coming from his own claim, and this is after a lot of other stuff has happened regarding his relationship with Katie Holmes, what it is now, as well as whether or not he pretty much abandoned his daughter and whether or not the church has something to do with this. Now, again, I want to stress fully that I am not, my knowledge of Scientology is pretty much limited. This is just basically on what's been reported, not an opinion, but I will address my own thoughts about it, but more on this particular case and what he has said. So those who do practice Scientology, this is not to blacklist you guys or call you on stuff that may or may not be true, because this is a report or story that a lot of people all talking about, and a lot of people are basically saying, in terms of what is so controversial about this particular religion. So with that being said, uh, here we go. Pretty much. The story pretty much starts out like this, and I will leave a link to it. This is from You Who Oh My God. This was Susan Bain. She's a very good writer. She has been writing things like this for quite some time, and she's been very consistent on making sure her reports are accurate. So I will leave a link to the story. But it says Tom Cruise said that Scientology played a part in the split from Katie Holmes because she wanted to protect her daughter from the controversial religion. While being disposed to Bruno publisher in Los Angeles, Cruz, who is suing the publisher for $50 million for claiming he abandoned the 7-year-old girl after his divorce, made the admission which has been long been speculated um, about. Now, this is something that I don't think is true at all. Granted, you don't see him with his daughter together. You mostly see Sarah, the 7-year-old, with the mother. They both live, or at least had lived, in New York for quite some time. But you don't really see Cruz with his child, and that has been for almost a year and a half now. You really don't see them in public, so that raised a lot of questions. Now, is that a bad thing? Actually, no, not really. I'll tell you why. If he does want to meet his daughter and spend some time with his daughter in private, away from the cameras, that's his prerogative. That's his right to have that kind of privacy. Keep in mind, a family thing should be with families and not something to be explored outdoors, so everybody can see. This is not a picture contest. In other words, but this has to come up, and he has been suing basically for slandering reasons because of those claims. It says here, according to the transcript, on September 9th, this position, which was ordained by the Oh My God Insider, the 50-year-old revealed that Sarah is no longer practicing the religion and was asked whether Holmes divorced him to protect the girls from Scientology. Who said he found the question offensive, replied, "There is no need to protect my daughter from my religion." And I want a key word here, my religion, not hers. Um, he says here, however, when asked whether Holmes divorced him for that reason, he replied, yes, there are many aspects to divorce. Uh, the movie star who has asked about Scientology terms surprised persons which the church labeled those who publicly renounce Scientology as if Holmes fit that category. That's a doctrine and a simplification of of the matter, he replied. I don't want to just give an over specification of the religion's doctrine. However, he noted that his older children from his marriage to Nicole Kidman have been contact Holmes since the divorce. Now, keep in mind, I don't know if they practice Scientology or not. It just may be the fact they is trying to keep their name off the public spotlight. Keep in mind, Nicole was his ex-wife, his first ex-wife, and even though they left pretty much on good terms, the last thing they want to do is probably put themselves in a situation where they can be shown in the media negatively. So that may be the reason is. So before anybody say that they are just cutting them off, it may be the opposite. This investigation also includes Cruz talking about how he didn't even see Sarah for at least 3 months after divorce, a period of time in the early August of 2012 to Thanksgiving when he was filming a movie in London. It includes the girl's first day at school. If she had asked me to be there, I would have been there. I would have worked it out in any way I could. She said of Sierra, who she describes as a very happy child and confident, and has a good sense of herself. And this is where I get into kind of like a mixed feeling on that. She's still a child. I don't think she needs to ask you for special events. I think she expects you to be there. Birthday parties, Thanksgiving, Christmas. I think in some ways she expects you to be there for the sake of the family. Just basically show that, hey, I'm thinking of you. I care for you. It if it was work related, then fine. That is part of the job description that he has done. They do require to be away from family for 6 months, even a year for that matter. But still, I find that kind of fish that he uh, trying is trying not to make that much effort, and him saying if she were asked, I mean, she's a child, man. Come on, let's be real here. And here's something that also backs that up here. He admitted that Holmes tried to get him to visit his daughter in October of that year, but he was unavailable to make it, and they failed to agree on the other day within the time period. This is where things put into question as well. Things change, and there are different agreements, like any divorce where you work out schedule. He said, it's just different sense of circumstances. This clearly does not mean that I had abandoned my daughter. I'll give him that because, like I said, he does have a tight schedule, and that tight schedule does sometimes mix with even people who are married. With that being said, I'm gonna say this: put your family first, man. Seriously, put your family first, especially when it comes to the situation. Let them know that you're not leaving them, that you're still thinking of them, you still care for them. Make that effort, because I went back to that first thing where he said, if she called me, I'll be there. When the second extender said that he admitted that there was an open space, he couldn't do it. So I want to work something out. Most disturbing is that I have to sit there and look at the photograph of my daughter with abandoned by daddy on the cover of said Cruz, who has been single since the end of his marriage. To me, that will stick out the most. The choice of Scientology or Sarah for good. Has he chosen Scientology or Sarah for good? Abandoning by daddy, I mean, come on. That is absolutely disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. And in many ways, I do agree with that. No matter what you may feel about Scientology, I don't think Cruz is not gonna basically just wipe his family off the face of the earth. I do believe that he has a tight work schedule, as do many actors of his standards. Keep in mind, one project ends, he already have another project begins. He may also have a contract with certain studios that he's obligated to pass fulfill to the letter, and that's something that plays a big part. As for that book, I really can't say. I don't know the intent of that book, but I will say this: if this is based on this, you know, tabloid propaganda, then Cruz have every right to be mad at the book, and he has every right to sue. That's just the bottom line. He has every right to sue, and he should win because you're slandering his name even further down than what it already is. All I have to tell you with everything, listen, I'm a public person. I absolutely understand. He continued, for me, I tolerate tremendous amount, and I am very privileged to be able to have the life that I have, and I believe that. But there is a line that draws for myself, and that's it. The next court date for Cruz is scheduled for November 26th of this year. And yeah, this is all pretty much stemming to the fact that a book basically told him that he's a douchebag and he doesn't care about his family. And he cares about more about the Church of Scientology than anything else. I don't think that's true. I'm keeping it on the go. I do believe that he has to do better in time management when it comes to his family, but that's for anybody who's dealing with a grueling, tough schedule. With that being said, I think he needs to take a time out. And actually ask himself just how much is his work actually taken away from the ones he loves, and that's the something that he needs to really think about. And that's something I don't think he actually takes in consideration. I know he has work, I know he has contracts, but now with the situation that he has with his children, I think that he needs to really reevaluate his schedule and try to work something out, especially with Katie Holmes and his other children for that matter, so that way they know that he's still there, he's still a part of their life. I think they're a part of their life anyway, but he's still there. And give these tabloid maniacs less to write about. They're going to write whatever they want to write anyway. That's what they do. That's what they're in the business for. But give them less to do it, especially when it's kind of situation. Um, Again, I don't think that Scientology is the big issue in terms of this story. It probably was a big issue leading to the divorce. Just how much it is, we will probably never know. We do know one thing. So the people who was following Katie Holmes, who happens to be a part of that church, did not help matters at all. Daily News, New York Post have posted a lot of stuff regarding them following Katie Holmes and her children, taking pictures of them. They're not police officers. What the hell are you doing? And that led to the story blowing up even more worse, and pretty much put a negative eye on a religion that's probably a very good, wholesome religion. And that's something that I think that the leaders of that, especially after more stars have been leaving and coming forward of the treatment, need to start evaluating, need to start to take a look at, and need to say, hey, look, that's not everybody. We're all good, wholesome people. This is what we do. But then again, who knows? Who knows what they're doing now? I'll leave a link. You guys can check it out yourself. You guys can comment on it yourself. But until then, this is J77 saying, take care, be safe, look for your feedback, and I'll talk to you soon.